Welcome back to module 8 of this unit 2 summarization measures, and we would be talking about standard deviation as one of the measures of dispersion in this module. To recollect, we have talked about range and quartile deviation and mean deviation as the measures of dispersion in the previous modules, and in each of the case, depending on ungrouped or grouped data, we have talked about how to compute each of these measures of dispersion. And what we try to measure is, in this case, the fluctuations in the data set, or by to what extent the data values are deviating from its central value. Okay. In case of mean deviation, we have seen how to calculate the mean deviation about mean deviation about median, and mean deviation about mode in each of the case. So same like how we have those measures of dispersion, we also have another very important measure of dispersion, and which is called as standard deviation, and this is the most often used one in almost all the fields. Now the difference between standard deviation and mean deviation is, while mean deviation calculates the deviation, the absolute deviation of the data values from its mean. Okay, we just take the absolute value of the difference between the data set with its mean or median or mode, and we just add sum of all those values divided by the number of entries. So it is just the arithmetic mean of the deviations, absolute values of the deviations. In standard deviation, instead of taking the absolute value, we take the square. Let's say, for example, I have this data. Consider the data 28569,541, whose mean we have already found out. It is mean is 5. Okay, then the standard deviation, this is the formula. Standard deviation is denoted by this sigma, and it is equal to the square root of the sum of x minus x bar square. So we take the squares of the deviations divided by n. It is the average of all this deviation squares. Okay, so in mean deviation we used to have the absolute value x minus x bar. Instead of that, we have here x minus x bar square. That is the only difference. So let us say I want to find out the standard deviation for this data. So standard deviation sigma, it is the square root of so you have to find the sum of the squares of the deviations. So from each of this value you have to subtract its mean. So 2 minus 5, we take square, plus next value is 8, we say 8 minus 5 square. Next is 5, so 5 minus 5 square, plus next value is 6, 6 minus 5 square, plus the next value is 9, 9 minus 5 square, plus next value is again 5, 5 minus 5 square, plus next value is 4, 4 minus 5 square, plus the next last value is 1, 1 minus 5 square. So what I did was, from each of these x values I subtracted mean and I took square, and this divided by the number of entries here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8, and I have to take square root of whatever I have calculated. So it is the square root of 2 minus 5 is minus 3, minus 3 square is 9, plus 8 minus 5 is 3, and 3 square is again 9, plus 5 minus 5 is 0, square is 0, plus 6 minus 5 is 1, square is 1, plus 9 minus 5 is 4, 4 square is 16, plus 5 minus 5 is 0 again, plus 4 minus 5 is minus 1, square is 1, plus 1 minus 5 is minus 4, square of that is 16. This divided by the 8 entries. So this is the square root of, so we have to add all this, 9 plus 9 plus 1 plus 16 plus 16 plus 1, that will be 52 upon 8. So I have square root of 52 upon 8 is 6.5 5 and the square root of 6.5 is 2.55. So this is our standard deviation value. Okay, so this is the procedure to calculate standard deviation for any given data set. So if I have any ungrouped data, so first we will calculate mean to find out standard deviation, and standard deviation is unique. We only use mean as our central tendency value. Okay, unlike in mean deviation, we used to calculate it for mean, median, mode. Standard deviation is always about mean. So we are looking at the deviations of each of these values from its mean, and standard deviation in this case for this data set is 2.55. So standard deviation sigma is the square root of the arithmetic mean of the sum of the squares of the deviation of the data from its mean. Okay, so we took the square root here of the arithmetic mean. So this is the arithmetic mean of the sum of the squares of the deviation. So we took the summation of the squares of, these are the deviations, x minus x bar is the deviation of this values x from its mean, that is x bar. So in case I have a ungrouped data, this is what we did. In case I have a grouped data, then frequencies will come into picture. So I'll multiply frequencies here. Instead of n, which is the total number of observations, it is the same as the total frequency summation of f. So this is how we calculate standard deviation for grouped data. The square of the standard deviation sigma is referred to as variance. Okay, so variance is equal to sigma square. Okay, this is something that we'll be talking about later. So in case I have a grouped data, okay, again to go back, we have been using the same data, the cost of meals in Chennai, whose mean we had already found out, it was 40, and standard deviation sigma is the square root of sum of f multiplied to x minus x bar square upon summation f. So accordingly, this x in this case refers to the class mark, the midpoint of this classes. So I have x, then I did x minus x bar, the whole square. Okay, so first I'll find out x minus x bar, and then I'll find out x minus x bar, the whole square. So next column I make x minus x bar, the whole square, and then I multiply f to this value. So f multiplied to x minus x bar, the whole square. So this x is the class mark. We already know it is the midpoint. We have already found out it earlier. So this is 25, this is 35, 45, 55 and 65. Now from each of this x value we have to subtract its mean. So we are looking at x minus 40. So 25 minus 40 is minus 15, 35 minus 40 is minus 5, 45 minus 40 is 5, 55 minus 40 is 15, and 65 minus 40 is 25. Once I found out x minus x bar, now we find out x minus x bar square. So we have to take square of each of these values. Minus 15 square is 225. 5 square is 25. Minus 5 square is 25. 5 square again is 25. 15 square is 225. And 25 square is 625. Once I found this, now I multiply frequency to each of these values. So 12 multiplied to 225 is 2700. 13 multiplied to 25 is 325. 13 again multiplied to 25 is 325. 9 multiplied to 225 is 2025, and 3 multiplied to 625 is 1875. I have to add all these values. 2700 plus 325 plus 325 plus 2025 plus 1875. Add this and you will get 7250. So this is our numerator here. So what we have found out here is the summation f multiplied to x minus x bar square. Summation f here is 50. So I substitute these values here. So it is, so sigma standard deviation is equal to, this numerator is 7250 divided by summation f is 50. 7250 upon 50 comes to 145 square root of that, and this will give me some 12.04. Square root of 145 is 12.04. So sigma standard deviation is 12.04. So for a group distribution or a frequency distribution table like this is how we calculate standard deviation. In this case it is 12.04. So some very important properties of standard deviations. Okay, so if we have a normal distribution like this, a distribution which is symmetrically, which is behaving symmetrically, so mean is here. So this is the mean, the population. Okay, and if I consider mean minus sigma, so sigma here is a standard deviation. So I'm looking at mean minus sigma and mean plus sigma. So if I look at this, okay, let's say for example, in the case of the cost of meals in Chennai, the mean was 40. Okay, and the standard deviation is approximately say 12. Okay, 12.04 it was. Let me just consider it to be 12. So what I'm looking at is 40 minus 12. So mu, the mean minus sigma, 40 minus 12 is 28. And here I'm considering as mu, the mean plus sigma, 40 plus 12, it is 52. So in a symmetrically distributed curve, what is known is that the 68% of the data values are within these limits. Okay, so we can be sure that 68% of this data set, whatever is the data set that we are talking about, they are between rupees 28 and rupees 52 for that example. Okay, in general 68% of the values are in between mu, mean minus sigma and mean plus sigma. The same way, if I go further, if I consider mean minus 2 sigma, so if I subtract again sigma from this 28 minus 12 is going to be 16, and if I add sigma here, 52 plus 12, this is going to be equal to 64. So I've considered mean minus twice of sigma. So what I'm doing is from mean I'm subtracting sigma twice, minus sigma minus sigma. So for a curve, for a distribution something like this, mu, the mean minus 2 sigma and mean plus 2 sigma, okay, this and this, it is known that 95% of the values are within these limits. So for a symmetric curve something like this, you can be confident that 95% of the data values are between mean minus 2 sigma and mean plus 2 sigma. In this case, you can be sure that 95% of the restaurants have their cost of meals between rupees 16 and rupees 64. The same way, if you go further, if you subtract sigma more again, so mean minus 3 sigma, so from this 16 you are subtracting sigma again, that is 12, so you will get 4, and you are adding adding sigma again, so 64 plus 12, that will be 76. So if we consider mu minus 3 sigma, mean minus 3 sigma and mean plus 3 sigma, then 99.7% of the data values are within these limits. You can be confident that 99.7% of the data values are within the limits mean minus 3 sigma and mean plus 3 sigma. Now in this example that we were referring to, mean minus 3 sigma is 4 and mean plus 3 sigma is 76. You can be sure that 99.7% of the restaurants in Chennai have their cost of meals between rupees 4 and rupees 76. So this is how the standard deviation plays a very important role in analysis. In fact, most of the analysis that we use in statistics depend on this particular result, and this is something that we will be using in your research later as well. So the difference between the mean deviation and standard deviation, we have already seen how to calculate mean deviation, which includes absolute values, whereas standard deviation includes the square of the deviations. Standard deviation is more of your distance formula. If you just recall distance formula, so if the distance between the 2 points, okay, we take the square of the deviations. Okay, so in that regard, so standard deviation takes square of the deviation and the sum of all those squares. So mean deviation takes average of the absolute values, whereas the standard deviation takes average of the squares of the deviations. It takes the average of the squares of the deviations. Okay. So higher deviations, in case of mean deviations, higher deviation have lesser impact as compared to standard deviation, because in mean deviation we are just taking absolute values. Okay, whereas in standard deviation we take square of the absolute values. So when you take square, that value is going to be much higher as compared to only the absolute value of the deviation. So in mean deviation, the higher deviations are having lesser impact as compared to standard deviation. Let's say for example, you are looking at say 4 and 8. If you look at only the absolute value 4 minus 8, the absolute value is 4 of the deviation, whereas in case of standard deviation we will be finding 4 minus 8 square. Okay, 4 minus 8 square is minus 4 square, that is 16. So in case of mean deviation, the contribution of this deviation is 4, whereas in case of standard deviation the contribution of this deviation is 16. So standard deviation amplifies the effects of effects much higher as compared to mean deviation. Mean deviation is not frequently used, whereas standard deviation is the one which is most frequently used in any kind of analysis. Okay, even in research we prefer using standard deviation more as compared to mean deviation. It is also seen in the useful in measuring the volatility and the risk in a financial sector. The square of the standard deviation, sigma square, is called as the variance. Okay, so if I have to give an explicit formula, it will be just the standard deviation formula without the square root sign. Okay, so we are taking square of whatever value that we get of standard deviation. Now this variance is exactly similar to standard deviation. In a way, instead of using standard deviation, we may say we could have used variance as well. Okay, but the problem with variance is, in the formula if you see, now since there is no square root sign, okay, that in standard deviations we have square root, whereas in variance there is no square root. So in the variance formula we are just adding the sum of the squares. So the deviations are squared and then no square root is taken, unlike in standard deviation. So the value of the variance will not be the same in the same units. In standard deviation what happens is we take a square of something and then we are taking a square root. So in a way this square root will nullify the impact of this square in terms of the unit that you are looking at. But in variance the unit will be in terms of unit square, because there is no square root there. So as a result of this, in variance what will happen is the deviation square will have a higher impact on the final value, unlike in the standard deviation, because you take square root later. So in case of outliers and in case of variance, outliers will have a very huge impact on the variance values because there is no square root taken, and as compared to variance, standard deviation has a lesser impact of from these outliers. Okay, but then why we usually do not use variance is because of the unit. Okay, because the final answer is in terms of unit square and not really the original, the actual unit in terms of which the data is given. That is why we usually prefer using standard deviation. Of course, many of the analysts still use variance because in case of a variance and of course in terms of standard deviation, we always want to look at the impact of the outliers or the values which are far from the mean, We want to always amplify that impact, like in the case of the risk factor, or in the share market. We always want to amplify the impact of the values which are far from the average value, and that's why we usually prefer using variance. Okay, but we usually use standard deviation because of the unit issue. Okay. Thank you.